Alright, let's get this. So we're gonna be hitting the I don't think the video can hear the music. Honestly, I don't really care. So we're gonna be doing a bit of the developing new drugs, and now what the spec says about it. We already talked about it last time, so we're not gonna go over it too hard. It's just simply understanding development of drug testing, as in does this drug work or not. And we're gonna having historic to contemporary. So we're starting from old time to new time, and just noticing how it's changed. We are going to have 4 case studies. We're going to have William Weatherham's digitalis soup. That's going to be the name of the microbial chemical that's being used. There's double digitalis, placebo, and 3-phase testing. Now I already went through this one on my own, but basically, this guy, William Weathering, found that foxgloves. At the time, foxgloves were used as a poison because digitalis were in it, and it was used as a poison. But there were things being said about foxgloves curing the dropsy. Now, dropsy is oedema, which is swelling, and what that causes is it causes a lung slow death with organs like the kidney failing, the legs swelling, and the lungs filling with things. Now, it's about heart failure, so it's of course related to your circulation in your circulating system, its circulatory system being failure. It's failing. So circulation was failing, and you would have problems in other organs as well. So now William Withering was a British doctor. Whatever, no one really cares. There's a person with serious heart condition. She got cured by another person who used herbs to cure her. It contained about 20 different herbs. And he guessed that, if there were words being talked about that some foxglove was curing dropsy, then he guessed that foxglove contained the active ingredient which cured her. So then he would be testing it on 163 patients, and many of his patients got better, but some died of digitalis poisoning, which is exactly what we were talking about, the fact that it was being used as a poison for centuries. So some actually died of that poison. He noticed that side effects of the drug included these. So this is an important thing to step. But when he got the dose right, then the patients would show. So these are side effects of not that it's not working. These are side effects which would show whether it worked or did not work. Okay. These are side effects. Okay. Now, the side effect that would happen if it was actually the result of it being a working. How was that, dude? Is there anything on me right now? Like any bug? Okay. So how we know that this was working was that when a person had digitalis soup, which was what it was, he made a soup. So 2 things would happen. He would produce large quantities of urine, and his heartbeat would become stronger. Well, since this is related to heart failure, heartbeat becoming stronger is definitely a good sign. And since one of the side effects was kidneys failing, the kidneys producing large amounts of urine was also a good sign because the kidneys recovered and removed the excess fluid. So this was showing that this soup was working. It was working. And it was working although these side effects happened, these negative side effects. Now, he refined the treatment and made it even better by making the soup from dried and powdered leaves of the foxglove, and he would boil the leaves to reduce the side effect of the drug. Oh, whoa, hold on. Boiled leaves reduce the effect of the drug. That's my fault. I thought it was like boiling the leaves would reduce these negative side effects of the drug. That's why he did it. But he didn't do it. He used them dry and powdered. So he would have the bowl, and you would either have the foxgloves crushed down with a mountain pestle most probably into a powder, or just and they would be dry. They would not be like put in water and boiled or anything like that, right? Or that's just kind of the general connotation. Um, so this is truly what he was doing by the end of it. He was extracting digitalis from the leaves of the foxgloves, and he made digitalis soup, which successfully treated his patients. This is an example of what we are studying, which is drug extraction, right? Or drug testing. Sorry, drug testing, or developing, um, like developing. I would say developing, testing, new, and perhaps even discovering new drugs, right? And so, you know, and this is how he refined it by making it dried and powdered, and now we have refined it even further by getting digoxin, which is based on the chemicals found in foxgloves, which is perhaps it's even more potent. It might be that there are less of those negative side effects and whatnot. So yeah. Now here's the new stuff. So testing promising new medicines. So in the past, herbal medicines were often used as a source of new drugs. So you would have new drugs, and we would actually just we would often source them from the herbs. However, new drugs are not really found this way. What does this mean? Herbal medicines, oh my god, I can't even read anymore. Herbal remedies were often used as a source of new drugs. So you would have like remedies which used herbs from the past, right? And over time, if there was one that was forgotten or whatnot, these would just be the new drugs being used. If there was a herb that was found which was new, and we haven't used that yet, if we could try to make a drug out of it, then we could just turn that into a new drug. That is what we did in the past. What we do now is that every medicine that comes onto the market today, every drug that is used today, is a result of years and years of R&D. Okay, so back then you would find a herbal medicine, test it out, can it cure it? It's a new drug. Now it's R&D of chemicals, R&D, research and development of chemicals. So this is actually kind of what I wanted to study. I wanted to study how to make medicine, right? So this is kind of for me, right? So a new medicine, and it has to follow certain guidelines. So the new medicine has to be effective, of course. It has to be safe, of course. It has to be stable. Now, stable means that it can be stored and it can be used under normal conditions. AKA, it doesn't need, if put in normal conditions, and if that conditions went overboard a little bit too much, the whole medicine wouldn't explode. That is unstable. This needs to be stable. And normal conditions probably means, since this is an ingesting medicine, if it's an ingesting medicine, then it probably means the conditions of the body. So your acid level, perhaps the temperature of your body, perhaps other variables that are related to that medicine. Must be easily taken into and removed from your body, able to get its target into your body and to be excreted from the body once it has had its job. No. Yeah. Okay, I guess I forgot to press record. I'm just gonna quickly go through what I just did. So I'm not sure where I stopped, so let's just talk about from here. Um, Basically, new medicines, you want to make it. If you want to make it, you want to follow these four things. Is it effective? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? Is it safe? Does it have, like, as long as it has no really bad side effects or unacceptable side effects? Stable? Will it change into something else? Then it's unstable. So stable means it won't change into anything which is non-toxic or non-active. Easily taken into the body and removed from your body. That's a transport system of sorts. We already talked about it. Can it enter and exit your body easily? And can it be made on a large scale? That's just an economical thing. So yeah. Now, if you want to make a new medicine, close it out. If you want to make a new medicine, um, look at things that bind to your proteins and your enzymes, because your proteins or enzymes are involved in disease processes. So if you have a chemical which does bind it to your enzymes and receptors, then that is something that you can use as a starting point for further work, because you know that these are going to be involved in disease processes. Okay. Next is that if you have a compound that connects and it could make a useful medicine, then now we'll patent it. That allows the inventor to be able to use, like, basically it's like, I found this chemical, it might work, I'm going to patent this chemical, no one can touch this chemical for the next 20 years. Okay. For these 20 years, I'm going to be further refining this chemical. No, refining comes later. First, I'm going to be testing this chemical, or like making it a drug that could work, then testing that drug over a long period of time, and then finally perhaps even refining it further if there's any cons that are found along the way. So the problem with these 20 years might seem like a long time, but it requires a lot of testing, which will take quite a lot of those 20 years. So it's tested. The drug is tested. It's tested, but to be used internationally, it must follow that strict criteria that we just talked about here. So the first two tests are going to be on your cells and your tissues. So if you remember the order, we talk about cells first, then tissues, then organ systems, then organs, then organ systems, then organisms. So we're going to be testing it on cells, tissues, and organs first. Okay, doing it on these cultures will give us the idea if that are they doing what they're supposed to do, and are they doing it? Are they safe? Are they doing it without unacceptable consequences or side effects? If it fails at this stage, this is the first stage of testing. If it fails at this stage, that means either they don't do what they're supposed to do, they're not effective, or they have harmful side effects, they're not safe. If it passes, then it goes out of R&D and goes into drug development and animal testing. So now we are testing these drugs even for, oh shit, my class started.